Hey Nerfers, I'm Addy Thomas.
I'm Ben Milton.
Thanks for joining us for another episode, A Certain Point of View. And we are, well, let's see. This is actually our second attempt at this recording. We just tried a very ill-conceived attempt at Twitch streaming and recording this, but we're going to give you this episode without Twitch streaming. But we're also going to be bringing you some Twitch streams just because we love gaming, and it's a lot of fun, and we feel like we can talk to you guys and have fun.
Yeah, it's a great way for us to interact with you because you can follow in on the stream and you can type to us.
And you can join us in game for some of these.
Yeah,
too,
some of these games, absolutely. It would be great to have some of you join us in game. That would be a lot of fun.
Before I get to some of the the URL and all that kind of fun stuff, though, I want you to tell me about something new we started this past weekend. The Fantasy Movie League.
Let's talk about the Fantasy Movie League. I'm so glad you brought it up, Addy. So I went to see Star Wars with my mom last week, and it was an advertisement, like the usual advertisements you get in front of the movies is like, hey, you can have a Fantasy Movie League. And I was like, this is right up our alley. So I just went out and did it, and I was like, well, we're just going to do this. I'm going to institute it. Addy, you're just going to have to come along for the ride. I sent you the link. And we just started inviting a couple, and we invited everybody. A couple people have joined. We have a total of 7 people who have already joined, including Addy and I. And you pick movies based on what you think the box office return is going to be. You have an X amount of dollars each week to spend. You have until Friday at noon to pick the movies in your lineup, in your Cineplex, of what's going to earn you the most money. This week, naturally, as the instigator of this new fun way to torment each other, I happened to win this week.
You did.
You were ahead all weekend, right up until yesterday.
Yeah, the penalty for leaving one screen undone did come back to bite me because it's minus 2 million.
Yeah.
So
how much did you lose by?
By less than $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You would have won. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, it's cool. It's fun. It's a very interesting version of playing fantasy and you have to think of it as if you're running a theater and what movies do you want on your screen on your screens with basically a budget to buy
those
and put.
things,
yeah. So it's
and
hard,
obviously,
though.
more popular films are more expensive. Like Star Wars and Jumanji were crazy expensive. So it was, you had to figure out, there's going to be a drop off for Star Wars,
right?
But it is less than Jumanji. Is that going to be the same ratio?
Yeah. And then what new movies are really going to do well? I know you put it Insidious. I avoided Insidious because I also saw the number of screens it was on throughout the nation. Mm-hmm. It was something like 3,000. And it was just it's not completely nationwide release. So let's play with my numbers here. See what I can get. I did my best gaming it. I used it to I had $2 left on my budget.
We both put Ferdinand in twice.
We did. Well, the thing is, it's I think we understand the appeal of family movies and realize
I love a good family movie.
Well, it's not just that. When a family goes out to see a movie,
yes,
you're often talking about
it's at least 3 people minimum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're selling quite a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously concessions don't factor into this.
No, it's strictly ticket sales.
Yeah, so it's fun. I'm looking forward to having to set my lineup for my.
This is so much better than fantasy football for me.
Oh, you got to stop hating.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But this is far more in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
The only reason I love fantasy football is because it's us.
Yeah.
And we get to trash talk
true.
and fight and make ridiculous bets and stuff like that. That's the only reason I play.
Well, it's funny because I've been following sort of different fantasy movie leagues for the past 3 years, actually, because I've been kind of looking at jumping into it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you got oh my God, I really want to join
I've never heard of it
and
before.
I threw out this link here, and you were like, oh my God, I really want to do this.
Because it's the exact same one that I saw the commercial
was it really?
for. Yeah. It was
That's
perfect.
funny.
So I want to give a shout out, though. I want to give a shout out to our friend Brielle. She came in 3rd.
Oh, congratulations, Brielle.
Super excited for Brielle.
And you know what? She has a good lineup, too.
She does.
She
it's
really
smart.
does.
Yeah.
I wanted, what movie I really wanted to put in was the Winston Churchill movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was trending up. It was getting ordered in more theaters, but I was at the same time, it's not necessarily popular.
It's not going to be a big book. You're
Exactly.
not going to get a ton of money out of that.
Exactly.
Not when you compare it to like Pitch Perfect, Star Wars, Jumanji,
which was also like I was trying desperately to work Pitch Perfect in there for my girl Anna Kendrick, but that didn't work. I just didn't have the budget for it. Pretty ballsy pick though from Riel. She put in The Shape of Water, so that's good. I mean, I want to see that movie.
I do too. I'm desperate to see that movie. I was hoping to see it today, but the weather kind of foiled my plans.
Yeah.
So it didn't happen. So I'm gonna try and get out maybe Wednesday to see it. We'll see.
Yeah.
So so that's what's going on. So you can join if you head over to our Facebook page. You can find the link on our Facebook page for the Fantasy Movie League. If you just sign up for Fantasy Movie League, look for the CPOV Movie League in the leagues and ask to join. Send us a message. We'll get to the password.
We should be able to put a link to
the
join on the website.
We do. We already do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, on the website. Yeah, that's true. We'll put it on the website. The password is Nerf Herder. All lowercase.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, that is going to be at our website, certainpov.com. You can join our Fantasy Movie League. We need to make sure Case joins this.
Yeah, he's gonna do really well. I'm kind of like not wanting him to join. Love you, Case, but I'm enjoying being on top for the moment.
You really are enjoying it. What's funny is because I remember looking through the weekend and I saw at one point like on one of your posts like I was above, but I wasn't able to check in and look at my scores.
Yeah.
But like the moment yours went up was the moment you started like
trash talking. Yeah, that's really what I'm all about for this.
Because I could just feel the sort of like discomfort of you being number 2.
Because it was close. It was close. It was so close. Everything, any kind of fantasy competition you and I have, is always so bitterly close. It's ridiculous.
All right. Well, don't forget, certainpov.com. All of our podcasts are there. Please subscribe, rate, and review all of our podcasts. We put them out in a separate feed so you can listen to the ones you like. And please be sure to share our podcast with your friends and family and all your nerdy friends that you have discussions and go on rants about The Last Jedi and other Marvel movies and DC and all of that.
Yeah, everybody's
stuff.
free to join.
Exactly.
Invite your friends, family, and even people you don't like.
Right. I'm not sure why you would want to do that.
Because then you can rub their nose in it, how dumb they are.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so let's get right into our news segment. So some Zack Snyder Justice League fans, well, they haven't given up on the whole release the Snyder Cut movement. So last Saturday, there was a peaceful protest to take place outside of Warner Brothers headquarters in Burbank, California. Of course, Saturday is the day that they chose, and Saturday is not a great day.
Why would you choose Saturday to do a protest if you want the executives to hear your complaints?
So here's
They're not
the thing.
there.
These are fans who want the Snyder Cut. I don't think
that's fair.
Logic and developed plans are necessarily in their wheelhouse.
That is fair.
And it showed because 13 people showed up.
13 people. And yet the movie got Snyderverse. I mean, like there's this alleged like huge movement to save this Snyderverse idea.
Yeah.
And it's probably a bunch of bots.
Movement.
It's a bunch of bots. It's a bunch of, people with multiple Twitter accounts.
Right.
I guarantee it.
So Fox has made an early season 2 renewal for the short order drama and X-Men series The Gifted, one of our favorite new series of this year. The 13-episode drama from Marvel Television and Matt Nix will wrap up its run on January 15th with a 2-hour finale. I actually believe we don't have an episode today.
No, we don't. It's not until next week.
Exactly, because that's a 2-hour finale for that. So this will be it's produced by Marvel and 20th Century Fox TV. So that's kind of factoring in why I didn't get the earliest renewal. The Gifted had been expected to score that early season renewal last month, but Fox sort of like held on a little bit just because with the Fox Disney deal, they weren't quite sure how this was going to work out. But it looks like it's not going to impact the future of it because they've gone ahead and renewed. The Gifted is ranking right now as broadcast TV's number 3 new drama of the 2017 to 2018 broadcast season. It's averaging over 8 million viewers a night.
Not bad.
Or including, I think, the +7 DVR numbers.
Oh, that's not bad.
Too. So
not bad at all.
It's doing pretty well.
I'm excited they're bringing that back. I hope that now that the deal between Disney and Fox has been announced. I kind of hope that means like some of these other shows like Legion and stuff like that won't continue to be held up, and they'll just be like, okay, let's move forward and get seasons rolling out here. Let's continue business as usual.
So 20 years after it wrapped up its run on the WB network, Hulu and Warner Brothers Animation and Amblin TV, which is Spielberg's production company, they're reviving the award-winning animated comedy The Animaniacs with a 2-season straight-to-series order at Hulu.
It seems so strange to me that they're going straight to Hulu. Like it was on WB.
Yeah.
Like you would think that like this show was huge.
So here's the thing. Hulu's sort of the best of both worlds when it comes to streaming.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel like we're going to see more and more head to Hulu. Like Netflix has gotten a lot of acclaim. Hulu has started to get that with, was it Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah.
And there's a couple other, shows. Not anything huge. Right now, that's their big one.
Oh, that comedy one with the female comic in like the 50s. Oh, no, that was Amazon.
No, that's Prime.
Yeah,
that's Amazon Prime. That just won an award, I believe.
That was really good.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that. It looked pretty interesting. But Hulu's got The Runaways from Marvel also renewed for a second season. So
I hope they run by then.
Right? I imagine that's going to be the season finale. In the very end is when they actually run. But yeah, I think Animaniacs. Well, Hulu's in the best of both worlds because there's still advertising money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then you have the creative freedom of a streaming service
to be able to really go after people.
Yeah, it's
because that was one of the great things about the Animaniacs is like before there was South Park and some of these other shows, like Animaniacs was like leading that edge of like kind of lampooning pop culture.
Yeah.
If you're even politicians and stuff like that, like they take shots at Bill Clinton and stuff like that. Like it was great for its time. It was brilliant. I wonder if they're going to continue to like kind of keep that same kind of edge.
I would hope so. But what I wonder though is even if they did, let's say they do, like, can they go that extreme? Like, we've gone so far with Family Guy and South Park.
Does it feel lame at this point?
Yeah, like, does it feel like watching The Simpsons?
Yeah. Or like when they brought the Muppet Show back and they tried to make the Muppet Show edgy, and you were like, yeah, that's not what I want to see.
Even though the Muppet Show was edgy. Like
It was, but it just felt weird.
You know what's interesting?
Today's edgy.
I was talking to someone, I think the Muppet Show would have worked better if it was a late night show.
Just put it on instead of Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers isn't bad. He's my least interesting.
The Muppet Show's better than Seth Meyers.
No, that's true. But like that would be fun, like to do Kermit as like the host, and like have your celebrity guests on. Whoever's
you know what
they
should have given the Tonight Show to Kermit instead of Conan.
That was quite a while ago, man.
Never forget.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Fallon though is a whole lot better than I ever imagined. Because I did not like Fallon.
I still don't love him.
Really?
No.
I like him on late night. I think his games and music gimmick works for him.
It's okay.
Yeah. Who do you like on late night?
Craig Ferguson, but he doesn't do it
anymore. He's not even doing it anymore.
He doesn't do it
Who's
anymore.
current?
No, there's nobody.
Like all of a
current.
sudden, I'm going to expect you to say Johnny Carson.
I did love Carson. I sound like an old person.
Yeah, you are.
The new crowds. Kimmel doesn't do much for me. Seth Meyers doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
I will agree with you that the Tonight Show with Fallon.
I think Fallon's the best.
Is
right
the
now.
best currently. Absolutely. Yeah. Conan is real hit and miss for me. I've never been a huge Conan fan.
Yeah.
But like they're all kind of.
I'm always surprised by that.
I don't love. You know what I don't like? I don't like late night talk show TV.
Oh, really?
It's so canned and vanilla and straightforward. Like I don't find it interesting. I don't enjoy the monologues generally. Like it's just so, these comedians up there like pretending to be interested in some dumb actress who, and what she had to eat on set is just so uninteresting to me. I just don't like that genre of television.
Yeah, that's fair. So, according to Variety, The Conjuring and It executive producer Walter Hamada is now going to be in charge of spearheading Warner Brothers' upcoming slate of DC projects. Hamada, who is one half of New Line's Team Genre, which I have no idea what Team Genre means. He was there along with Dave Neustadter. He'll work closely with Jeff Johns, who is going to remain on as president and chief creative officer of DC Entertainment.
Well, okay, so this is a change. You know, a couple episodes ago, we were saying, like, if you're going to fix the DC universe, the DCEU, you've got to make a change at the studio head level.
Yeah, this was an expected change, just because of how badly Justice League ended up doing. I don't know if this is the guy for it.
The problem is like, who is the guy? Like,
right, and like, so we don't even know like if he's a fan. Like, I think that's one of the things that helps with Feige so much is because we know now how much of a fan Feige is. Like, they got it. Like,
yeah, you almost need a fan and not just a studio executive.
Right. But see, the thing is, we don't know who the next Feige is.
Right.
We didn't know who Feige was before.
No, nobody did. And he had some crappy movies attached to his name.
Yes,
along
absolutely,
the way.
Absolutely. And I mean, a lot of that was because he was an assistant to Lauren Schuler Donner on some of those X-Men movies.
But like, if you just looked at his resume, you were like, I don't love where this is going.
Like Spider-Man 3's on that list, guys, and X3. Daredevil, Elektra.
Yeah, there's some real dogs in there.
Yeah. So like, there's some bad stuff. So like, it's hard to know who is going to be this guy, this producer who understands the film business but also understands the comic business and and what fans value in these franchises. So it'll be interesting to see who they can get. The rumor, for a little, there were like rumors thrown out of.
I was excited about
Ben
this.
Affleck. I actually feel a little bit more comfortable with.
I think
Affleck.
that could have potentially been a great. Again, you don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know. Like it could look great on paper, and then like it comes to time. And then you're just like, oh, Lord, this was a bad choice.
Yes.
Maybe.
But here's the thing. What makes me comfortable about Affleck is, one, he's a fanboy. He loves DC.
He loves Batman.
He's
even played Superman once, too.
That's right.
Next turn, Wonder Woman.
He's just gonna get then he's gonna be
do
Green
the Holy
Lantern.
Trinity. He's gonna do the Holy Trinity, and then he's out.
He's gonna be Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
He's really going for that Oscar. He's going for that acting Oscar.
No, so here's the thing. He also has a lot of experience as a director.
Yeah,
he's been producing a lot of movies, so he's
the most well-rounded name that's been thrown in the mix.
Yeah, I actually think he would be really like a very interesting pick.
The problem is that really sidelines everything else about his career.
It does. Like, it's a huge commitment. Like, he has to say,
I'm not acting anymore.
I'm not acting or directing.
I'm not directing. I'm not writing.
He can produce still, but he won't be able to.
Yeah, and even that would be pretty limited.
Yeah.
He'd mostly just be throwing his money into the pot.
Right. But he'd be an interesting.
It would be a.
He
cool
was a
pick.
guy who was exploring public office at one point too.
Yeah.
So like, he makes sense as a studio head when you consider those ambitions.
That's true.
He
is an ambitious guy, but I think like his ambition though is to be loved.
Yes,
like
I think so.
As an actor, and I think I heard Kevin Smith say that about him.
Yeah, which makes Sad Affleck that much sadder.
Yeah, it does.
Tragic.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, like this guy just like took this role of like, I'm gonna be Batman. Everybody's
and Daredevil.
gonna love me. Yeah, like and he keeps making these superhero choices, and everybody goes, oh, this is awful.
And what's the thing is,
it's not
him. He's never really the problem in those movies.
He's never the problem, but everybody shits on the poor guy. I want to see him win. I really do.
Right?
I've loved him since Mallrats. Like that's my go-to Ben Affleck movie. So I want to see him win. But this is here's the question though about this. Like, we got Hamada. That's who we got.
Yep.
What are we hoping comes out of DC at this point? Like Snyder tried super dark, super almost super serious.
Yeah.
Like, whereas Nolan was like, it's got to be grounded.
So here's the thing. I think those are the wrong lessons to take away from those movies, though. Because see, I've been of the opinion that the DC universe can make itself a serious universe by going in a more serious direction and less laughy and less like laugh a minute that Marvel sometimes goes for. Not to say that Marvel isn't compelling. I totally feel Marvel is compelling. But you could go compelling in a different way, and in ways that are true to each character. Which, yes, Flash will be a little bit more fun and kinetic compared to Batman. You know, even Lantern will be fun at times, but at times will also scale over to a little bit more serious and compelling. You know, Wonder Woman is will have sort of a little like it did was more charming than necessarily. It wasn't so much funny, but it was still a whole lot more serious. I think
which Marvel movie would you call funny?
Almost all of them.
Funny.
All the good ones.
Funny.
I think there's a lot of fun moments.
Fun, but not funny. I wouldn't call them a comedy.
Guardians. Thor Ragnarok for sure. Spider-Man Homecoming. I think it veers a little bit more to the action comedy side of things.
I mean, they're more lighthearted, but I wouldn't call them
movies.
No, I wouldn't call those comedies.
Yeah.
I mean, there's quips, but I wouldn't
guess you're
call
right.
them
Yeah,
comedies.
I would call them comedies, but I think the tone is definitely a little bit more.
It's definitely
willing
lighter,
to go comedic.
But the problem is that.
I'm not saying this is a critique though.
No, I know, but here's what I'm saying though. I don't think that's the right way to go. To steer the opposite direction. Clearly that's working.
But here's the thing.
I don't.
But then, here's the thing. From a principle of marketing, you want to be if you're gonna be the number 2 product or try to contend for number 1, you try to be different. You know. And
no. If you're number 4, you try to be different. if you're number 2 and you're making 1.5 billion instead of 1.75 billion. You should be perfectly happy to be the same thing, just the number 2 product.
Yeah.
Instead of making 60 billion.
But see, I don't think DC's movies. I don't think the problem was ever it being serious. I think the problem was total inconsistency within the same movies and compelling plots. Batman versus Superman would have been fine with a serious plot if it was at least compelling. The Martha moment isn't earned.
The Martha moment is stupid.
But that's the whole crux of that movie.
No, yeah, and it's stupid. It's just badly written.
Absolutely,
the whole thing is badly written. But I don't know that. I don't know that going serious is the right move. I don't think it's the right move.
Yeah,
I don't think. I don't. I think that maybe we've had once the Nolan Batman series.
Done with those.
Yeah, we were okay, we've seen the serious. Let's have fun with our superheroes. It's still mythos. It's still mythology. I don't need it to be, brooding.
Well, so here's the thing. Logan was really good, and it was in that.
Yeah, that's great for one movie.
Yeah.
I don't need that for an entire universe.
I feel so here's the thing. I think some of the X-Men movies that have worked better have been the more serious ones like that and
First Class.
Days of Future Past, First Class. That works for the X-Men because of the tone of what they're doing. I think at the end of the day, it's got to be true to the characters. I think that matters more than a discussion of general tone. Because here's the thing, with Marvel, a Daredevil movie with the tone of the MCU wouldn't have worked. What made it work so well is they went for that darker, more serious tone, but did it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't think it's really about whether you try to make these more fun movies or darker movies, but make them compelling movies that are appropriate to each character. So Amazon Prime decided to pull off sort of a comedy stunt when it had Saturday Night Live legends Will Ferrell and Molly Shannon host a Rose Parade broadcast. There was a catch, however. They did it in character, pretending to be a local news duo named Cord Hosenbeck and Tish Cadigan.
Dumbest names ever.
Oh, there's some great
there's
some great promos. Apparently Will Ferrell's character, I saw a promo on Facebook, and it was he's an ex-linebacker, and he has a fear of catching the football, and they had a guy off screen throwing footballs at him, and he's just having a freak out. It was absolutely hilarious. The problem, it got really weird. I mean, first off, Will Ferrell's comedy is definitely
it's off-putting.
Yeah. But however, a lot of viewers did not recognize who they were. I think Tim Meadows was also part of the group.
How do you not know this?
I know. I can't believe
shocked that people didn't recognize.
Apparently, like throughout the thing, they were asking Meadows about his SNL career, and he didn't want to talk about it. And some of these commenters didn't get it, and there was over 1,400 one-star reviews, including feedback like.
Did you say 1,400?
Yes,
one-star reviews. Oh my god, that's amazing! That makes that a total win.
It really does.
That makes that a total win. They got 1,400 people to watch that.
Yes. And this was so way to go. One of the feedback comments said, "Way to go, Amazon! Totally ruining the Rose Parade with 2 inane idiots who thought the event was all about them." And here's another one said, "Do you really think fear of horses and depression are fitting parade commentary?"
Yes, yes, I do. That's great, man. I hope they continue. I hope it becomes a thing. I hope it takes over.
I kind of hope it's still on Amazon.
I might need to watch it now.
Yeah, I know. I might need to throw it on the background at work.
Were they actually at the Rose Parade?
I think so. I think so.
I can't believe the Rose Parade let them do that.
Right? Well, they've started a lot of live broadcasting this year because they, like Amazon Prime, did a lot of Thursday night football. So
right.
You know, they're getting into that territory.
Oh, that's great. That's a good gag.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I love the idea of See, here's the thing. Like, I remember after watching the movie The Other Guys.
Yeah.
With like the first 5 minutes, like the movie itself is fun, but the first 5 minutes are exceptional.
Yeah.
Because that's Sam Jackson and The Rock.
Yeah.
And like after I saw that, I just dreamed of like I want Sam Jackson and The Rock hosting all sorts of shows now. Like I want them to do like football commentary. I want them to do cooking shows together. They should have taken over Oprah's spot. You know, all sorts of stuff.
You couldn't. Well, you could get Sam Jackson to do it because he'll do anything.
He'll do anything. I mean, The Rock does a lot too. Let's not.
Yeah, but you can't afford to get him to do it anymore.
Not anymore. Especially if he ends up running for president.
He's got to beat Oprah first.
Right.
Oh, God help us all.
So let's get into our TV reviews from the past week. So The Gifted, which we just mentioned, got renewed for a second season. The Gifted, we had a new episode. This week we're not having a new episode, but we're getting 2-hour season finale after that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. This week was chock full of cool revelations
and big world building.
Yeah. We got Hellfire Club.
Yes,
which was awesome.
We got confirmation that Esme and her sisters are the Stepford Cuckoos, or 3 and 1.
3 and 1, yeah. Which they even referred to them as 3 and 1.
And they gave her, even though in the comics she's not. She's more of an understudy of Emma Frost. She is carrying Frost's last name right now.
Yeah,
so,
which is great.
Really
she's
cool.
always dressed in white. Which is, it's like, oh, we got Emma.
Yeah,
it's
pretty awesome.
So happy. I'm so happy.
We also know that the X-Men specifically were connected to the group of refugees and the mutant underground that we're working with right now.
Yep. We also got a hint of what's her name? The
Polaris.
What her father is. It's pretty strongly hinted that it's Magneto.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it could be Black Knight. Because
Black Knight or Sebastian Shaw?
Sebastian Shaw, who was Black Knight.
You mean the Black Knight of the Hellfire Club?
Yeah.
Not the hero Black Knight.
No. Yeah. So like they didn't say names. They just said that he was leading the Hellfire Club.
Right.
So it could be Sebastian Shaw, but it looks like Magneto with her power set and something. Who knows with mutants? Like
I mean, and that's the kind of thing they can always change. And this is another universe, and this just happens to be.
Maybe she's related to I don't know, Puck.
You're just hoping for that.
I need a Puck reference, damn it. That's all I need.
You want the Great Lake Avengers to show up with Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl
back as a mutant instead of an Inhuman.
It would be the best. That's where she belongs.
I thought we also had some really cool, compelling moments. They're doing a good job at making Sentinel services somewhat sympathetic. Like, they've done a good job.
I mean, I wouldn't call them sympathetic.
Well,
there's reason for the way they behave.
Yes, there's reason. Well, okay, yeah, sympathetic is maybe too far, but like you feel pretty bad when all those agents get killed at the end. You don't think so? You don't feel that way?
I didn't.
I do. Like especially
What's
because
it like having a conscience?
Well, especially because they had just made some ground with Agent Not the Rock.
I love that you call him that
because that's his real name. You called it.
He is not The Rock.
Yeah,
he is absolutely the poor.
I'm using your name.
There's a lot of poor man actors in this. Franchise.
I reckon. So I don't know the character's name. I just know, I know him as Jesse from Burn Notice. So I just think of him as that character.
Yeah.
All along. So as a Burn spy.
Okay.
So yeah, I have no idea what his character's name is on the show, but I'm fine with it.
Okay.
He's got a compelling backstory.
He's not The Rock.
Yeah.
but he's as good as you can afford on national TV.
Right. And then you got, what's his name? Garrett Dillahunt's character, the creepy scientist guy.
Oh yeah, with the scars now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, he reminds me of HRG. He reminds me of like a poor man's HRG.
Well, wasn't he also on Lost as a creepy character? No, I'm thinking of another dude.
Probably was though.
Yeah, he probably was too. Everyone was on Lost.
Yeah, the show went on for so long and jumped all over the place. They could have had anybody
but he's a guy you see on all TV shows.
Yeah, he's a great character actor.
Yeah, so I mean, and so they're doing a great job there. The Mutant Underground is on the run right now.
Yeah,
so some big developments.
It's a fun show. I'm enjoying this show quite a bit. Outside, while I'm waiting for Legion to come back, this has filled a very good mutant itch for me.
Yeah. Well, this was sort of the show that a lot of people kind of counted out, so it's been nice seeing.
I'm shocked it's as good as it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I really you were like, oh, the X-Men on network TV.
Yeah.
This is gonna blow.
Well, it's doing some really cool stuff on a low budget.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing a great job.
So then we had the Runaways also renewed for a second season.
Yep.
We had some pretty big developments.
Yeah. This show, this episode was very OC for me.
Yeah. The end got better. The very end was
the whole middle section where kids were hooking up with each other. I was like, what am I watching?
Right.
This doesn't even make sense. And then they're fighting about it an hour later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is just dumb. Now you're really showing your OC roots here.
Yeah.
You're really showing it. You're going for it. But that's the show that they want to make. That's what this show is. This show really is the OC with mutants.
Yeah. To be fair, that stuff is in comics too.
It is, but it's not. I'm a 43-year-old white guy. I know. I'm oh god, I'm older than 43. I think I'm actually 44.
Oof.
Yeah. No, I turned 44 this year.
Okay.
So I'm not that interested in it though.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
That's fair. Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I'm like, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm not here to see which teenager hooks up with which teenager
right.
and then has regret about it the next day. That's not what I call compelling TV. But I'm not, 15 and young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah. So let's move on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We had a cool new episode. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I watched it last night.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I streamed it last night.
I realized I did not message you and reminded you to watch.
No, I was all on it because I saw that Clark Gregg actually directed this episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I thought I was like, oh, let's see how he does. Let's see if he's a decent director. And he's
a
good director.
Episode, yeah.
He's a good director. It was a fun episode.
Yeah.
A lot of twists and turns.
Yeah.
Big spin ending.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting to pull the taffy a little bit more on Fitz being undercover as this marauder type character, which I thought was kind of
cool character. I
wanted
to see more of that, but there really wasn't a lot more they could do.
Yeah, you would really start stretching it a little too much. So I'm glad that they're running into some big stuff. I have no idea what the implications
still have no idea
are.
where the season is going.
Right, which
no
is
idea.
Really cool. So.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'd kind of like to know where we're going.
Really?
It's just it feels a little meandering right now. It's
really
again feeling like we don't really know where this is going. We're just kind of making episodes up as we go. And
I don't know if I feel.
I wouldn't say that they're making episodes they clearly have a plan, but the audience doesn't know what that plan is.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe it really is tying back into Infinity War.
Yeah. It could be. I mean that. Could be really exciting.
It makes the most sense at this point because they're really by now last season you think of we were well into the Ghost Rider story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well into the Ghost Rider story.
Yeah.
Now we're well into what?
Sort of. Well, we got some interesting universe building as far as the Kree.
Yeah, but we're 6-7 episodes into the season.
Yeah, about.
And we're still world building.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an interesting direction for the show to take.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it.
Yeah,
but I would kind of like to know where we're going.
Does this feel like it's gonna be the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like
I
it's
get
run
that
its course.
sense. Yeah.
I feel like
once
it's
you
run its
head
course.
out to space for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it feels like
There's really not a lot left for them to do and explore with these characters.
Right.
Like, I feel like this is like they're like, okay, let's put them in space because now we can really throw everything at them.
Yeah.
And like Max throwing great one-liners out
Yeah.
about tacos. Like they're just like, okay, let's just like, this is it. Let's just wrap it up. Like, let's just throw everything out right now. It's almost like a season 1 where they're like, let's just do it. Everything we've ever wanted to try.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. This feels that way too.
Yeah. And then new addition to sort of the shows that we're going to be reviewing. We've been raving about this show for a while. The Good Place just came
so
back.
Glad it's back. I'm so happy it's back. I love this show so much.
So it's not typical nerd fare.
It should be.
It is, but it's like if you know our sort of thoughts on like our tendency to like talking spirituality and philosophy, you would probably like The Good Place because it's an interesting concept of what Kristen Bell and Ted Danson are in it, and Kristen Bell has gotten into heaven, but she figures out she is not the right person. Like, she has the same name as someone else who's supposed to be in heaven, and she is definitely not a good person. And her trying to earn her way into heaven. A lot of crazy twists and reveals, so not going to spoil that. I'm just going to pitch that out there.
The show's
Watch
brilliant.
it. It's on Netflix.
So well written.
Entire first season's on Netflix. You should probably be able to catch up on season 2 on Hulu or whatever TV service you're watching.
It's on Hulu.
So we just came back from the season 2 mid-season break.
Here's how good season 1 was. I watched season 1. I binged it.
Yeah, and I was recommending it to you for a couple times.
You did, and I was like, okay, let me check it out. I watched it. The same weekend, I watched it a second time.
It's so good.
That's how good. I never go back and watch TV shows.
Yeah, you don't.
Never. Never. That's how good. That's how much I loved this TV show.
It's a fun show. It's a good comedy. A lot of Michael Schur is producing it. So like Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That sort of vein of humor, but also a very different concept.
Yeah.
Instead of being just another workplace comedy.
Yeah.
Although
it
really
is
cool.
kind of.
It has some of the
it kind of turns into that a little bit.
I guess it does a little bit.
Yeah,
the
season turns into a workplace comedy. In a way.
Yeah,
and a very interesting twist on that idea.
But it doesn't abandon its core concept for it.
Not at all.
And there was some really interesting developments. We'll maybe in the coming weeks we'll start getting into spoiler territory with some of these episodes. But you gotta watch it. We're not gonna spoil it for you.
Oh, Janet is my favorite. I need a Janet in my life. I really do.
So definitely check out The Good Place. We don't have anything major coming up in terms of movies or other new
until
TV
next
shows.
month.
Yeah, for a little bit. So
We're in the dead zone.
So it's the perfect time to catch up on The Good Place. It's the perfect time to catch up on the Scruffy Nerfers. It's the perfect time to go to Another Pass and check out if there are particular episodes you want to check out or listen to them all. Just go to our website, certainpov.com, rate, review, and subscribe them. You can go to our website again, certainpov.com. And until next time, stay scruffy, my nerf herders.
Your voice is cracking. You sounded like Seinfeld. Maybe it's,
I was watching nothing but comedians.
Cars, coffee,
yeah,
coffee and cars.
I was just marathoning it.
I wanted to watch it.
I've watched all those episodes.
I haven't.
Well, I've watched a lot of different episodes, but there are certain episodes I hadn't watched, and we're still recording. I'm going to keep this in there.
It's so funny. Because like we saw it on Netflix, and Jenny was like, and I was like,
I know, I got
oh
excited.
God.
And at first
Jenny's
I thought it was just like the first season, but it's everything.
Yeah, it's everything. And Jenny's like, oh, well, I guess we can watch it. And I could tell like she really wasn't like,
I love that show.
And I was like, it's like, no, babe, let's do something for you tonight. So we ended up watching The Zookeeper's Wife, which is about it's based on a true story of a couple of zookeepers, a couple who are zookeepers during World War II in Poland who hide Jews in the zoo.
Oh, this sounds like the kind of thing Wycliffe would watch, my brother.
It's such a shit movie. Oh, I hated every moment of that goddamn movie. Oh, it was so bad. I was just sitting there just steaming like I could be watching Seinfeld right now.
Talking to other comedians.
Oh, this is my
I
dream.
got all the way, I think 10 episodes in.
Oh.
I got to Seth Meyers.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. They can't all be winners.
It was a good interview.
No, Seth is cool. Seth's a funny guy. He is actually a very funny guy.
Yeah.
Again, it's just that
he's not my favorite.
No, but it's also just that show, that type of show.
When he gets nerdy, it's
funny.
Him.
Yeah. He's smart.
Yeah.
Every single one of those guys who've earned their way to a late night show, are brilliant in their own right. They really are. Like you don't get to that part by not being funny.
Exactly. So anyway, certainpov.com.